Web 2.0, a phrase coined by O'Reilly Media in 2004, refers to a second generation of internet-based services, such as social networking sites, wikis, communication tools, that emphasize online collaboration and sharing amongst users. Much research has gone into where the path of a Web 2.0 user bifurcates from that of the traditional user. Persuasive technology and captology play a prominent role in this field, and many successful Web 2.0 sites employ persuasive principles to attract and retain users. The Web 2.0 behavior chain is an attempt to capture the standard Web 2.0 user experience. Unlike the earlier web experience, this is far richer in detail and a lot more involved, with stages leading to each other and often merging. This video is an attempt to illustrate the concepts and take a look at the primary persuasive principles at work in each area. The Web 2.0 chain begins with hearing about a site. This could be through word of mouth, a media advertisement, blog, email, or social bookmarking. The next step is actually visiting the site, that is, clicking a link or entering a URL. So, what bridges the gap between learning about a site and visiting it? As an example, take the Gazak invite, where the user gets an email from a friend. Visiting the site is now just a one-click affair. Contrast this to an advertisement in a magazine. It might attract you, but you would have to remember the URL and explicitly enter it in your browser. Too much work for the lazy net surfer. The takeaway from these examples is the fact that ease of use is a primary persuasive principle in this area. The simplest way to get the user to move from hearing about a site to visiting it is to make the transition simple. Now we enter the second bubble. To begin with, the user needs to get persuaded to try the site. This depends on a bunch of things. He has to find it interesting and believe that it's something worth using. From here on, one moves to registering and trying the site, or trying the site and then registering. Again, the simpler these steps, the more likelihood of the user taking them. A good example of this is Blogger. A negative example would be the complex form on bharatmatrimony.com. Another major persuasive principle that impacts this bubble is credibility. It is the single most important thing that determines a user's path in this area. Web 2.0 sites use a host of techniques to establish credibility here. Trust stamps, user feedbacks, credibility through numbers, etc. Other factors here could be social acceptance, as in Orkut, or the need of self-expression, as in blogging, or just convenience, like Google Docs. So, once the user has tried out the site, what incites him to stay? This brings us to the third bubble, and the one most critical for survival. A lot of Web 2.0 sites depend on user content, YouTube being a case in point. They also depend on the user to involve others, the viral spread. Note how the actions in this bubble are more interlinked than others, one leading to the other. As an example, blogs. As you write, you create content. The more people who visit your site, the more people get involved with it. And you write often, therefore you stay active and loyal with the site. This bubble also provides a seed for the start of the behavior chain for other users through blogs, contents that others view, invites, etc. The driving persuasive principles here are social acceptance, social recognition, self-esteem, self-improvement, etc. Creating content is a way of creating a presence on the web, and this is what drives the Web 2.0 movement.